So You Really Want to Learn History Book 2 is the second of our Key Stage 3 history textbooks. It's for use by children in years 7 or 8, so that's aged 12 or 13. It takes them from the Wars of the Roses through to the Jacobite Rebellion. It's based on the Common Entrance syllabus. It relies on extensive use of primary sources, and it develops essay writing and evidence question skills. So You Really Want to Learn History Book 2 takes the story of Britain on from the Wars of the Roses through to 1750. We see the rise of the great House of Tudor. We see Henry VII struggling with increasingly erratic and out-of-control finances. We see the great Henry VIII, the Renaissance prince, he of the 6 wives, he of the break from Rome. We see the flirtation with Protestantism under Henry, going to quite an extreme under his young son Edward VI. And then, of course, the terrible backlash under Queen Mary, Bloody Mary, and the burnings and the terrible persecution. And then, of course, we're into the great Elizabethan age. We see how she dealt with Parliament, we see how she dealt with foreign policy, and how England took its place on the world stage. In Chapter 5, we spend quite a lot looking at life in the 16th century, life in the countryside, life in the towns. We look at the pastimes of people living at that age, the life of women. We see the life revolving around the theatre, the rise of great writers such as William Shakespeare. And then it's on to the Stuarts, James I, and of course we're into the Gunpowder Plot, and increasingly a sense that Parliament has got to impose checks and balances on the monarchy, and of course most dramatically that leads to the Civil War and the execution of Charles I in 1649. And gradually our story moves from being the story of kings and queens to being the story of Parliament and of politicians. And by the end of our book, our pupils have learnt, as they have with all of our history books, how to use and sift and analyse evidence, and they've learnt the skills of essay writing and forming a coherent argument. But most of all, we hope they have developed a passion for history, something that inspires us all here at Galore Park.